The Secret Life of a Civil Lawsuit. How Five Lakh started a 15-year court battle? Civil Procedure Code (CPC) explained like a legal thriller. Hello, my bookies. Today we are solving a mystery. A mystery that has destroyed friendships, destroyed families, destroyed business partnerships, created mountains of paperwork, consumed forests worth of paper, and somehow managed to keep photocopy shops alive across India. The mystery is this. How does a simple dispute becomes a 15-year court battle? Because here's the thing, nobody tells you. When someone says, I will see you in court, that is not the beginning. That is barely the tutorial level. Today we are following a single dispute. One friendship, one 5 lakh loan, and one legal battle that slowly transforms into a full-scale civil lawsuit under the Civil Procedure Code 1908. By the end of the video, you will understand structure of civil suit, cause of action, plain jurisdiction, summons, temporary injunctions, written statements, affidavit, trial, judgment, decree, appeals, execution, and limitation. And most importantly, why lawyers spend years mastering procedure before they even master the arguments. Welcome to the hidden life cycle of the civil suit. Chapter 1. The crime scene. No murder, no robbery, no criminal conspiracy, just betrayal. You lend your friend money, 5 lakhs. At first, everything is normal. They promise repayment. You trust them. Life goes on. The repayment day arrives. Silence. You send WhatsApp messages. Seen. No reply. You call. Rejected. You visit. Suddenly your friend develops a rare legal disease known only to civil litigation. Selective memory syndrome. Syndrome includes forgetting loans, forgetting contracts, forgetting promises, remembering absolutely nothing except how to avoid creditors. And this is where our lawsuit is born. Cause of action. Now, legally speaking, your frustration doesn't matter. Your heartbreak doesn't matter. Your disappointment doesn't matter. The court asks one cold question. What legal wrong happened? That answer creates cause of action, a bundle of essential facts which gives a person right to seek judicial relief. Notice something important. A cause of action is not a document. It is not a petition. It is not a court's form. It is simply the collection of facts that give you the right to sue. Without cause of action, no suit, no judge, no court, no lawyer, no drama. The CPC connection. Order VII Rule 11A CPC. If a plaintiff does not disclose a cause of action, the court may reject it at any time or any threshold. Imagine entering into a court and saying, My lord, I don't like my neighbor. Judge is like, Congratulations, that is not a legal injury. Case dismissed. Chapter 2. The plaint. Now the plaintiff launches the first legal attack. Under Order VII CPC, the plaintiff files a plaint. Think of the plaint as the official birth certificate of the lawsuit. This is where the plaintiff tells the court who the parties are, what happened, when it happened, why the court has jurisdiction, and what relief is being claimed. For example, my lord, the defendant borrowed 5 lakh and failed to repay. Therefore, I seek recovery of money with interest. Essential contents of the plaint. A proper plaint generally contains name of the court, name of the details, like name and details of the parties, facts constituting the cause of action, facts showing jurisdiction, valuation of suit, relief claimed, and verification. So let's go through some landmark cases. In T. Arivandatam versus T. V. Satyapal, 1977, Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer warned courts against entertaining travelers, frivolous and now let's go to some case laws. In T. Arivan Dadam vs. TV Satyapal 1977, Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer warned courts against entertaining frivolous and vexatious litigations. If the plaint is clearly meritless, courts should use the order VII Rule 11 of CPC and reject it immediately. Translation: don't submit legal fan fictions. TV reality versus loyal reality. So TV reality will be like the lawyer delivers a devastating emotional monologue. Everyone gasps. The camera zooms dramatically. Real lawyer reality. The lawyer is checking like whether annexure piece number 4 was attached upside down or not. Yes. So let's go to the chapter 3. Jurisdiction. Before the case can move forward, the court asks, why are you here? And surprisingly, that's a legal question. Not every court can hear every case. The court must possess jurisdiction, the legal authority to decide the matter. Territorial jurisdiction. Section 16 to 20 of the CPC. Which geographical court can hear the case? Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru. Pecuniary jurisdiction. Section 15 CBC. How much money is involved? 50,000, 5 lakh, 50 crore. The value determines which court hears the dispute. It is pecuniary jurisdiction. Subject matter jurisdiction is also there, by the way. The type of dispute. Like, what type of dispute is it? Property, commercial, family, probate. Not every court can hear every subject. Example, imagine filing a Kolkata property dispute before a Delhi family court. Yeah. And the judge will look at you exactly like the way a professor looks at a constitutional law. Answer, discussing dot, like dot law. Wrong quote, try again. The law school trap. Every year, thousands of law students memorize orders, rules, sections, and still lose marks. Why? Because CPC is not a subject of definitions, it is a subject of sequence. Examiners secretly test whether you understand how a suit moves from cause of action, plaint, trial, decree, execution. If you understand the journey, you understand the CPC. Chapter 4 Summons. Section 27 of CPC. The court now receives the plaintiff and says, interesting story. Let's hear the other side. Enter. Summons. The official notice issued by the court requiring the defending to like the defending party, like the defendant to appear and answer the claim. Principle of natural justice is there, or the Altram pattern, or the Alton pattern. Here the other side. This is one of the foundational principles of law. Unlike social media, courts generally prefer hearing both sides before deciding who is wrong. Chapter 5 Emergency Mode Temporary Injunction. Now imagine a problem. The lawsuit may take years. Meanwhile, the defendant starts selling property, transferring assets, destroying the evidence, changing the status quo. Winning later becomes impossible or meaningless. So the plaintiff seeks temporary injunction under order XXXIX Rules 1 and 2 CPC. Think of it as the legal emergency brake. Landmark case laws like Dalpat Kumar versus Prahalad, like Dalpat Kumar versus Prahlad Singh, 1992. In this case, the Supreme Court laid down three requirements. One, prima facie case. 2. Balance of convenience. Greater hardship must result if the injunction is refused. 3. Irreparable injury. The injury cannot be adequately compensated later. Miss 1. Application dismissed. Chapter 6. Written Statement. Order V CPC. The defendant finally enters the battlefield and says, "Everything you just heard, that's not what happened." The defendant files written statement. This is the defendant's version of events. Exam point. Order VIII Rule 3 and 5. Denials must be specific. A vague denial may become deemed admission, and deemed admissions can destroy cases. So, TV reality versus lawyer reality. TV reality, you cannot handle the truth. Lawyer reality, my lord, kindly grant 2 weeks for the filing the written statement. Chapter 7. Framing of issues. Order XIV CPC. Now the judge has plain written statement and both sides disagree about everything. The judge simplifies the battlefield. Example 1, like issue number 1, whether 5 lakh was advanced as a loan. Issue 2, whether it was a business investment. Issue 3, whether the plaintiff is like entitled to recovery. Whether the plaintiff is entitled to recovery or not. These become issues of fact and issues of law. The entire trial revolves around them. Chapter 8. The trial. Order XVIII and XIX CPC. This is where stories collide with evidence. Affidavit. So order XVIII Rule 4 CPC. Examination in chief is commonly submitted through affidavit. An affidavit is a written statement made under oath. The witness is effectively like the effectively says everything written here is true, and if it isn't, that becomes a serious problem, my dear. So cross-examination, this is the real battlefield. Lawyers test memory, credibility, consistency, documents, and even truthfulness. This is where weak cases begin to collapse completely. So, internship reality. What interns imagine? Solving billion rupee fraud, dramatic courtroom speeches, historic judgments, but interns actually do? Like indexing, pagination, code recalculation, finding defects, affidavits, wakalatnamas, certified copy applications, and after 3 weeks, your senior finally says, "Come inside, watch the matter," and suddenly life is meaningful again. Chapter 9. Judgment versus Degree. So, Section 2.9 and 2.2 of CPC. Students confuse these like constantly. Judgment is the reasoning, the analysis, the findings, the explanation. But degree is the formal adjudication, the enforceable command. Easy trick. Judgment is why and degree is what. Chapter 10. The retaliation appeals. You mourn, you celebrate. The defendant disagrees. Welcome to the first appeal. Section 96 of CPC. A first appeal allows consideration of facts, evidence, and law. So, case law. Santosh Hazari versus Parutor, Santosh Hazari versus Parushattam Tiwari. 2001, the Supreme Court discussed the powers and duties of appellate courts. Second appeal. So basically, Section 100 of CPC available only where a substantial question of law exists, but not because someone is unhappy, not because someone is emotional, because an important legal issue exists. The dark secret of civil litigation. Most people think winning the case equals getting justice. Lawyers know something terrifying. Sometimes winning the case is easier than recovering the money. The suit ends. The appealance and execution still continues, which is why litigators joke like stage 1 win the paper, stage 2 benefit from the paper, stage 2 is usually harder by the way. And chapter 11 season 2 execution of degrees. Order XXI CPC. Many lawyers call this the real trial because now the court must force compliance. If the defendant still refuses to pay, the court may attach property, attach salary, freeze bank accounts, auction assets, appoint receivers, order civil detention in appropriate cases or circumstances. So again, TV reality versus lawyer reality. TV reality. Case 1. Hero walks away. Credits roll. Lawyer reality. Congratulations, you completed the tutorial. Execution begins tomorrow. Chapter 12. The Silent Assassin. Limitation. Governed primarily by the Limitations Act 1963. Even a perfect case can fail. Not because it is fake, but because it is late. For many recovery suits, limitation is generally 3 years from the date the cause of action arises, subject to statutory provisions regarding execution of extension of time, where applicable. Legal maxim. Vigilantibus non dormantibus jura sapientum. Vigilantibus non dormantibus jura servantient. The law assists those who are vigilant, not those who sleep over their rights. The complete cycle of the civil suit. So legal injury occurs. Cause of action, then plaint under order VAA. Then jurisdiction. Section 15 to 20, summons, Section 27, then temporary injunction, order XXXIX, the written statement goes, order VIII, when framing of issues are there, order XIV, affidavits and trials are there, order XVIII and XIX. Judgment, Section 29, obviously decree then. Section 2, appeal. Then which will be like section 96 and 100. Execution. Order X triple I, XXI, double XI, order XI execution, and then final resolution. So, add that, my bookies. It is the biggest secret of civil litigation. Courts are not powered by dramatic speeches, they are powered by procedure. The civil procedure code is not merely a law school subject, it is the architect of every civil lawsuit in India. Every property dispute, every money recovery suit, every injunction, every appeal, like every execution proceedings, everything begins here because before you can even win a case, you must first survive the procedure. And trust me, the procedure has defeated far more litigants than the law ever did. Until next time, keep reading, keep questioning, and remember, every history judgment was began as a simple plain, quietly sitting inside a dusty brown court file.